Hello and welcome to another episode of Ken Training, where we want to give you the training that you need to tackle projects like this one on your own. Today's training is going to be on installing the best recessed can light fixture you can for your home projects. All these 5 recessed light fixtures that I purchased, pot lights they're referred to as, are off the shelf at the Home Depot. Every single one of these is dimmable and selectable on the color temperature range, so you can go from a warm white to a neutral white or a cool white or even a daylight. They have 5 selecting switches to go from 2700 Kelvin up to 5000 Kelvin. And it tells you that right here on the box. They're all rated for IC, which stands for in contact with insulation. So they all have the same rating. The prices on the lower end go from about $24, $25, all the way up to $40 on the high end. These 4 fixtures here are 6-inch light fixtures, and this one light fixture over here is an 8-inch light fixture. And I can tell you right now what the results are. The results is that my favorite light fixture that I'm going to be installing on my projects is going to be this 8-inch light fixture right here. By the way, I will have links for everything in the description below, so you'll be able to see everything. But this here is the 8-inch wafer light. It has 2 components to it here. The selector switch is located right here. Let me give you a little zoom in on that so you can see how you can change the color temperature like that. And basically I just set mine for 4000 for the testing. I used a dimmer switch. This here is the dimmer switch that I used, which is a Lutron dimmer switch, and the slide function here for the dimming, and then the on-off function right there. Okay, let's switch over now and let's look at the bedroom floor plans. Now, these are the 5 light fixtures that we did the test for. Again, I'll have links in the bottom for you to look at. Now, one of the things in your lighting design that you do not want to happen is you don't want to have a light that is too bright. This is extremely common. So this is a fellow YouTuber. His handle is Think Reno. Here's a link to his video, and I'll leave a link down below to his video so that you can watch it. But basically, he had, instead of using a dimmer switch in order to tame the brightness down, he used duct tape, he used parchment paper, and he had 3 simple solutions in total. We won't have to worry about that because we are simply going to do our lighting installation with the dimmer switch. But you got to keep in mind that when you work and deal with these lights here, that you cannot run your lights basically at 100%. Otherwise, it's going to have this blinding effect, and it's just unpleasant to the eyes. I installed one of these downstairs in my downstairs kitchen, and I couldn't put a dimmer switch on it because I had to do, the switch was a dual switch, so it didn't give me the ability to put a dimmer on it. So I did tame it down by using this person's technique, by Think Reno's technique. Okay. Now, here is the chart that I did on my own, in which I tested the 5 light fixtures. The first place winner is the one here in green, number 5. And basically the reason why number 5 is the first place winner is because it's an 8-inch fixture, and the number of lumens that it puts out. This was at full 100% on, and it's putting out 249 lumens. And I took that measurement right under the light fixture, 36 inches above the finished floor, because basically that's the work height surface. And if you look at it compared to the other numbers, it far surpasses all the other numbers. And I do realize that no matter what fixture I install, I can't run it at 100% because I don't want this to happen to me. So I have to tame that number down. Basically what I did was I used the dimmer switch, and I lowered the light to where there was no glare coming out of the fixture, or at least a level I felt happy with. The number of lumens directly under the light at 36 inches above the finished floor is 200 on the first place winner and 136 on the second place winner. If I was to use these, well, I am using this light, but basically it tells me how many lumens are coming out for my lighting design. This is the light switch that I used for the light testing, and also it's the light switch that I'm going to use for the installation permanently for the final install. Now it's basically a Lutron Diva LED, $32 per light switch. Nice dimmable slider right there, so when you hit the on and off buttons, you really don't mess with the dimmable feature unless you really need to. Okay, now let's get into our design. We want to have, it tells you right here as a rule of thumb, if it's a sitting room or a bedroom, only 10 to 20 lumens per square foot. But if it's a bathroom or a kitchen, you want to be in the neighborhood of 70 to 80 lumens per square foot. So keep that in mind as we do our design. Okay, we are currently in my wife's sewing room, and her Etsy shop is Dog Lover OC. I'll leave a link down in the description down below so you can see that. But here's Marley, part of our support staff, wearing one of the bandanas and that my wife makes and sells on Etsy. And here are some other bandanas that she has in her Etsy store. And again, I'll leave a link in the description down below so you can see that and link to it if you're interested in acquiring a dog bandana. This room has got 3 lights, 2 here on this side of the room and 1 light over here. There's a jog in the wall here, which is the reason why I only went with 1 light on this side. Otherwise, I would have went with 2 lights. And you can see that the lighting is pretty uniform throughout the room, and the dimmer switch is currently set less than halfway. So I got the dimmer switch right over here, and it is way tamed down, less than halfway, so it's really tamed down, and it's nice even light. And I've got the window blinds shut off so you can see exactly how much light these 8-inch halos produce just by themselves, and tamed down at less than 50%. Okay, now we're in my room. I have 4 of the lights up in the ceiling, and I've got the dimmer switch set at probably about 50% or so, and you can see the lighting in the room is really nice and even lighting. Okay, I have a blanket here on the wall because I do for my sound videos, I try to do some sound absorption there. But you can see nice even lighting. When you check out and do your lights, you want to see how much shadowing you have at the ceiling line there. And you can see that these lights, there's 4 lights in this room, and it produces very little shadowing. So it's nice even light distribution. The lights, I know it's hard to pick up in the camera, but the lights are not so blinding when you're standing in the room. This is not bad lighting. This is why I wanted to go with this light fixture. Okay, we are in another bedroom now. There are 4 of the lamps up in the ceiling here, and this room is about 12 feet by 12 feet. And you can see I've got the dimmer switch right over here, and the dimmer switch here is set to about even less than 50%. And the room has great lighting, great even lighting distribution. If you look at the shadowing in the corners, and over here on the closet, it's just really even distribution of light. Okay, I want to explain something about the shadowing. And I should have explained this earlier, but on the light fixture, you see how what's happening is that the LED light fixture itself is like flush with the ceiling. When this is flush with the ceiling and you don't have the baffle that some of the light fixtures that I did testing on have, what happens is you have less shadowing on the wall when you have a flush mount such as the one that I installed, which is a real clean look. But maybe if you're doing like some type of architectural design and you want to have that shadowing, that's when that deeper baffle will come into play, and that will help you when you're trying, if that's the effect that you're going for, the deeper baffle will give you that wall shadowing if you're going for that look, and some people are. It depends on your layout, your design, and all that. Personally, I like this particular design, and that is why I installed it at this house. I think this is a wonderful light for my purposes, and I think that it's going to work out beautifully. Okay, it was a little hard to show you in the video, but here in my wife's office, labeled here bedroom number 2, this particular bedroom, which is 10 feet by 15.5 feet, I only have 3 light fixtures in here because there was a jog out in the wall right here. So I would, if this jog wasn't here, I would have put 2 light fixtures here. But because there's a jog in the wall and the door right there, if you're going to put a desk in this room, it would go right here. So I put 1 light fixture on this side and 2 light fixtures over here. And I think the lighting came out really nice. And I did a breakdown on how many lumens that is. And then in my office, the room that we're actually in right now, I've got 4 light fixtures in the room. And there's the equal spread patterns going throughout. And you saw on the video, I think it looks really nice. Over here in this one is the other bedroom, the one that had the echoing sound in it. Same thing, 4 light fixtures in that particular bedroom. Okay, now let's break down the pricing of the project. I installed 11 light fixtures at $40 a fixture, and that was $440. There were 3 light switches, that's totaling $96. I needed to buy 100 feet of 14.2 Romex because when I connected onto my breaker, it was a 15 amp breaker, and I told you that information right here. So when I add up all those material costs, it comes up to $621. There's some miscellaneous costs because I had to buy an 8-inch hole saw and other stuff. So let's just say my material cost is $750. On Google, it states that for recessed lights, the cost to install is $125 to $300 per downlight. That doesn't include the dimmer switches. To install in an existing ceiling. Mine, I had an existing ceiling, but I didn't have an existing opening, so I had to create those openings. But anyways, what I did was, as I said, the contractor price would be, I rounded it out to $200 per downlight. 11 fixtures, that's $2,200. And I didn't even put the dimmer switches in there. I subtract out my material cost, $750. So basically, we have a savings for me doing the project myself as a DIY of $1,450. Well worth the savings. Okay, that is going to conclude this video. I hope you got some good information out of this video. If you have any questions about your project that you're doing, please put those questions in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to help you with whatever it is that you're trying to do for your project. And hopefully I've got some tips and tricks that you can use for your project as well. If you haven't done so already, please smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, Ken Training, and I will catch you on the flip side.